I think it's on.
Yes, we are live. Just trying to pull it up so we can all be here together.
Yeah, it's on. I see it.
You see it?
Hmm.
Good. Well, welcome everybody. We are live. Just trying to pull it up so we can all be here together. Let me take this volume off. I see Tara's here. Hey, Tara. And I don't know if I'm ever pronouncing his name correctly, but is it Adrena Gonzalez? Is it Adrena or Adriana? Because
I
I'm
think.
horrible with pronunciation.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
So,
we are so
welcome,
glad y'all are here.
welcome to Beans and Bourbon
Hey
Monday
Josh,
with the lovely Love Belvin, the GOAT of the pen.
the GOAT, the first lady of LB Universe. Woo. We are just so ecstatic to have you here, here in on Bourbon Street because we are all things love. Love Belvin, all things Love Belvin. You know, I am a
I've been
big
feeling it.
fan.
I've been talking to Team Love about it. I'm like, this new wave of followers, they came out of nowhere and they're coming so hard. So I feel you and I truly appreciate it.
If you notice my name, it's
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Everybody
oh
should
my
know by
goodness.
now who Ezra belongs to.
That is an ongoing battle. And I have some new readers in our group that keeps us on our toes. You hear me? So we have to definitely stay abreast of. We're gonna need to recruit Tina over here, our LBU encyclopedia.
Is she here?
I'm not sure. Not sure if she's joined in with us, but Josh said, "Oh God, here we go."
Not from all people to
You should know we're not going to miss an opportunity, but we are going to definitely jump in. This has been, quite a year of reading in the LB. Ashton and Tori came in with a bang, literally.
Yeah, I see.
They came in ever since you basically announced that we were getting a reintroduction of Tori, right? Miss KaToria.
Mhm.
And this new Ashton, I was like, okay, you know, we knew he was gonna be all man because what LBU male is not like totally alpha.
well, the main meal, because
Yeah,
we're
I
not.
don't think they're all the same level alpha
They're not.
though.
No. And you know what? That was so evident in how they all showed up in this story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know Asmir is just, and to me, he's just the king. I mean,
He
my baby.
definitely is the king. I think that the
Ezra.
three alphas we have in LBU is Asmir, Ezra, and Sadiq. Like those are the three top dogs in terms of alphas. The other ones, I think in general, all of my clients are alphas, even the females, but those are the king of the alphas, all three of them. Like I don't even know who tops who.
That's right. Well, Ezra is on a different level from Asmir, but he
We can't even talk about Ezra because
can.
my brother-in-law, and I have some stuff about him that I just do not like, but I try to keep it to a minimum because that's my brother-in-law.
That's my
And
brother-in-law.
yeah, I can't talk about it, but it's some stuff about him. Ezra is cheeky. That's all I'm gonna say. Cheeky.
Well,
Cheeky
he is
alpha
who
male.
he is.
We're gonna let it go.
Tara said Ezra, Asmir, and Sadiq. Oh my.
You know what? I think Tara is not signed in because I don't see her.
Yeah, she
I
isn't.
So
She
she's
didn't
under
sign
like
up to
Facebook
StreamYard.
user, I think. I
yeah.
think Josh had to tell me that when they're not signed in.
You can't
Yeah,
see their
it's just
name.
Facebook user for me. Okay.
And
And
Sharon,
then a
I
lot
can't believe you're playing with my boy Jimmy. I can't. She calling him Auntie Jimmy. Girl, don't do that.
Who said that?
of
Sharon Hello.
Oh, hey Sharon.
She is not going to play
Bernard.
with
My sister
him.
said Bernard. Bernard.
Barnard. Oh goodness, they are just so hilarious when it comes to him. But this book, oh my God, this series was a handful. And I knew not to get too wrapped up into book one, but book two. And I say that because I know for a fact book three gonna bring it home. I know, we have to get some background, and boy, did we get some background.
Yeah.
I have never. This is. I have never seen as much growth in characters that I saw in this series. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But you know why? Because
why?
they had 12 years to grow up.
Absolutely.
Whereas
Okay.
like Kennedy and Isaac, they didn't have that lengthy period apart. So it was easier for me to navigate them because they had lived a little beyond their college years. So I can certainly see why.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Terry, we can
I
definitely
appreciate
see
that
now.
because that grown up Tori and Ashton was the bomb.
Yes,
Oh, thank you.
absolutely.
We
And
think
for me, and even though I don't want to go all the way jumping all the way to book three, but my heart was so full with Miss Wanda. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I believe I came right to your inbox about Miss Wanda. I'm like, that is such a reality that we need in society.
Mm.
This grown woman been there, done that, and she made it known. Like, listen,
Yeah. Yeah.
it ain't always been peaches and cream.
Right. Right. And I love the way that she was able to explain her rough exterior. And I feel like I'm with you. We need more of that, more Black women
Absolutely,
nurturing us, more Black women not competing with us or not discriminating
that
against us
part.
based upon our mistakes. Like we need for them to jump in, get in our faces and say, okay, let me help navigate you. And I was really happy for her. But I knew in book one, when I met her, she was just protective over her son, and she should have been. Like he was a huge prospect going into the NFL. And yeah, I would try to intimidate whatever young girl comes in my son's way too. It wasn't about the
Absolutely.
girl. It really was about her son. And
It truly was. And I respected her because she had this
mhm,
demand about her. But
mhm,
even with her current status at that time,
mhm,
it wasn't, she made it know, yeah, I might have a little money now, but that's not who I am. It's like,
mhm,
don't get it twisted. I'm from the
mhm,
streets.
mhm. Prince Street Projects, yeah.
Ayana, I'm from the project.
I'm
It
from
was
the project.
real
Prince
I can
Street
be a
Projects.
projectress.
Yep.
it
You
was a
better
real
know it.
project around here.
Oh my goodness. This series just did it for me. Knowing that Tori had, oh my gosh, she came from such brokenness.
Mhm,
I have never witnessed that kind of breakdown, but as an educator, I definitely have knowledge of it, and it was just like in your face with
mhm.
Tori and everything that she was faced with. I was like so heartbroken, right,
Yeah.
by the fact that she was at school with busted tennis shoes.
Mhm.
Like,
And basically no shame either. She was like, I remember when he asked her about her bra, and she was like, "Well, I only have one," and I'm
Yeah. She
like,
she didn't know any better.
he didn't, and it
She
was
didn't
evident. It
know
was
any
so
better. She knew
evident.
how to just protect herself, but she didn't know any better. So you'll be forthcoming when you don't see how embarrassing it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the team of support that came around her as time went on, that truly was a welcome sight. Even though I had my moments of doubt about uh, Ashton, because I was like, wait a minute. But then as he continued to build her up, it was like he was creating this brand new Tori that we then see much later, but oh, he poured so much into her. Little did he know she would actually have him, wrapped
Mhm.
around the finger, around
Dirty.
her finger.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that scene, that scene when she wanted to give her or show her gratitude, right?
Mhm.
in the exercise room or in the back room or what have you.
The
Like,
massage.
yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, okay.
Right. Again, when you don't
All
know any
true.
better, you don't know when to be embarrassed, or you don't know, okay, this is inappropriate. She did not know. I mean, it took some boldness for her to do it, but otherwise she didn't know how out of line she was by doing that.
You're right, Maisha. Maisha's talking about how the bullying that definitely made my heart bleed for, because it was like, okay, how old are we?
Mhm.
And we still doing that, the bullying thing,
I
right?
didn't understand about that is that she did always know how to defend herself, and I couldn't understand how she never hauled off and popped one of them.
Because
I didn't
because
understand
it was
because I
culture
was
shock.
like,
It was
yeah,
truly culture shock for her. Like she was definitely off her base with them, and eventually she started threatening and everything, but she was completely thrown off base. It was a classist issue, like they came from money, and they came from a whole different world than she did, and she wanted to kind of disappear, but you can't disappear when the coolest guy of the group, he won't allow you to.
right.
So then she became the target, so yeah.
I think the part for me was when, she showed a lot of discipline,
Mhm.
uh, given the fact that coming from where she came from, that's all she knew. She
Mhm.
started fighting because of the need to protect herself, right? And so over time, it took a lot of restraint
Mhm.
to not knock the hell out of Avery.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Avery made me want to slap her from the very beginning.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
wanted to hurt her, and in those humiliating moments, like, right, Josh said no. Why she just didn't slap the taste out of Avery's mouth? Exactly.
let me tell you something. I You can say whatever you want to say about me, but when I heard she got hit by that Mack truck,
Lord Jesus.
I was A-okay. I was like, well, just like a dog in the street.
Oh my
Like a dog in
goodness!
the street. She wanted to call Tori a dog, like a dog in the street. She got hit by a Mack truck.
Listen,
I have no shame. No
I
shame right now.
listen. Let's let's slow down.
Yeah, just
Listen.
pray for me, Josh and Tara. Pray for me because I have
I've
no
always been
shame.
interested in hearing how people felt about that. I didn't really spend much time. I didn't process it myself because I knew since book one what was going to happen. So I was just in hustle mode trying to record it. But I never processed what did that death mean. I think I did see a few reviewers say they wanted a showdown between Tori and Avery. They didn't want Avery took the easy way out. She died. Like, really, who wants
Let's
to die
just
with
keep it
that?
real. That would not have been a fair fight at all. You
I,
Yeah.
know,
I feel absolutely okay with it. She called Tori so many dogs, and she got ran over like a stray dog. So
nobody cared. Nobody cared. Adrena said karma slapped her via that truck. That was
That
definitely
was
her
karma.
karma.
I'm done. I'm so done.
listen, Adrian, I'm with you. I am with you.
And
I'm
thinking about Miss Wanda, I was surprised Norma Jean got as far as she did for as long as she did.
Well, if you go back, they said that when Miss Wanda found out about Norma Jean, they had a fit.
Oh, I know.
They had been well involved before she found out, and I think at that point, how was she
Oh,
going to?
yeah. Ashton wasn't going to allow Miss Wanda to know about that. He kept that under wraps as long as he could. But going between, no, I think his dad had passed by that time. That was definitely something that he did not want her to find out because, Wanda don't play about that boy.
At
So,
all.
yeah.
At all. But it became so evident the value that she held, in terms of a meaningful friendship, right? She actually she showed some stuff. And she wasn't as cruel as Avery, but she definitely was an issue.
I think
Josh,
what made her an issue was the fact that it caught Ashton off guard. Ashton thought this was legit his friend, his confidant. He thought, Norma Jean understood where he stood with even Avery. And I think a lot of people discount before Ashton found out about Avery and Pettiford. Ashton was really in love with her. Ashton did want to marry her. They really had a relationship. Now we can question whether or not they should have had any business talking marriage, so young, especially with him coming up on his NFL career. Like that probably wasn't cool, but it should be understood that they had something real. And then, in the spring, he finds out about, her losing her virginity to someone she knew was his enemy. And then the summer happened and they split. And then as soon as, before she even moves in, Tori was there, although they didn't really see each other, but it just happened so fast. And Norma Jean knew all of this. When book one opened up, we saw them have dinner and they were friends. They were legitimate friends. So Ashton's thing was, how could you do this? Like, how could you, go into Avery of all people and tell her something like this? Like, he had no idea she still had those lingering feelings for Norma Jean still had those lingering feelings for him. So that was betraying within itself.
Yeah, I think he was just,
when he said that, when she asked him about Norma Jean, when Tori asked him about Norma Jean, he said that was his best friend.
right.
Yeah, he loved Norma Jean. He absolutely liked the role, because what happened was when she met him so young, and for him it was when it was over, it was over. I think for her plan was, it's very similar to Stint Row. Now that I think about it, just hit me. Stint Row with Zoe, he never let Zoe go ever. His stupid behind thought he was giving her great. Yeah, he thought he was just giving her a leash so she can grow up, and he wasn't, and he didn't influence her. And it's like, idiot, how could you not influence her? You gave her a baby. But he had no intentions on hurting her. He was just, the way he went about, being a staple in her life was wrong. It was immoral. So I feel like that's how it was with Norma Jean. Norma Jean just figured like, oh, I'll let him figure this thing out with Avery. And plus she knew Avery was dumb. She knew Avery was irresponsible with him. So she was letting it play out. But Tori came. And when Tori came, she didn't like this is going in a different direction. I was not expecting this. Hold up. Let's put the brakes on this, because, she thought Avery was deaded, from her decision with, Pettiford. And then Tori came, and Norma Jean saw up close that boy was falling in love with her.
Exactly. And that was the intimidation right there,
Yes.
knowing he was, see, I know for a fact, and this is kind of what I felt. I didn't feel, what I got from that was Ashton might have felt something, but there was still some doubt there when it came to Avery. And that's what Norma Jean was playing on when she kept pushing him to her. It's like it still gave her room to, to play.
In the back of her mind, she knew that, Avery couldn't, she thought she had put a spell on Ashton. She knew that Avery was being irresponsible, but I'm gonna play your friend. I'm gonna play bestie. Just give her a chance. But I think she was a little salty when she learned about it. But just in her mind, her plan was let these two outgrow each other, and boom, he's old enough for me now.
But Dana says Norma Jean for the competition.
Yes,
I agree.
Did. Yes,
the
she
real
did.
Competition was.
It wasn't.
Have you ever met Dana? Do you know Dana?
No, but she's here in Nala.
Yes, she is.
We're gonna be all things Nola over here.
It wasn't a competition because he didn't feel the same for Norma.
No, he did not.
For Tori. I think that, once she realized that, she should have just gracefully backed out.
Is that Evelyn in here? Is that Evelyn?
She is.
That's Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Hey, Evie. I had to only because she said, y'all heard Love said,
That was me that typed that. Y'all heard Love say Stint was stupid.
Oh, that was you. Okay, I thought that was
she didn't mean it.
Yeah, no. Stint was irresponsible with her.
But and Maisha in here talking about no stint, and Terry talking about no stint bashing.
Yeah. I would never take on. I want to make this clear. I would never take on. I don't think I do stories that dark. To date, I've only taken on men that had the pure. Once they got past that, I'm a cool guy. I'm not going to fall for her. Once they were in, they were in. So I think I heard someone say that Stint got Zoe high so he can impregnate. No, that's not what it was. Didn't heard her say, like, he understood that wasn't something she experienced. He wanted her to experience everything with him. So they smoked weed together, but he was not, yeah, he plotted against her, but it definitely wasn't anything malicious. I got accused of Asmir raping Raina. Asmir did not rape Raina.
At
Yeah, we
all.
know that they may have crossed the line, because I'll go there. I will go to that line. I have no problem with it, but their hearts are always pure. They're gonna be inappropriate. It happens when you're in these passionate relationships, but I don't write about nefarious lovers like that. I don't do that.
Y'all heard it here.
Yeah, and I also try not to interpret, like, you guys have these feelings. Absolutely. Everybody's wrong. Everybody's wrong. He's wrong. She's wrong. They're all wrong. So I don't interfere with that, and I don't take it personally. But when it gets to that, like those malicious acts, and I'm like, no, I don't write stuff like that. I go there. I go dark. We may have sex when your period is on, but I'm not going to rape you. Like, I'm just not going to do that. Like, I'm not with that.
Evelyn's in here about getting ready for Rita, and everybody's joining in. So
My Rita Beta's here?
Yes, your Rita Beta is here.
Rita Beta? Where is she?
She hasn't signed into the stream yard, but she's here.
That's what Josh said. They have to sign in to stream yet.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
So when we rolled into book 2, we met Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah, we finally met Jimmy. Uh-huh.
I love Jimmy.
I love Jimmy.
Love Jimmy. He's enchanting. And one of my favorite things that he did in this last book was when he said, when they rolled up for Christmas, and he said, "See what happens when you let Camille take control." And I could have
fell out. I fell out. Hey,
my mom always said about Princess Di and all of that. That she'd probably still be alive if his mom, if the queen would have just minded her business.
Did not interfere.
I'm so tired of Evelyn talking about Ayana Sweat Jimmy, her boyfriend.
Oh, Evelyn didn't say. I see her now, but I see the comment.
Jimmy, he was just so pure. In the sense where he was no nonsense. He was definitely real, in terms of being fair with Tori, but seeing the genuineness in her. And he saw all of the fake people that was around Ashton. He knew that there was a better spirit in Ashton, and Tori brought it out of him. He recognized that right off top.
I think too that he also understood kind of where she was coming from, because he had to deal with Nana. So I think that also played a part.
Yeah, he got one look at Tori. He said, this is not the pedigree that this kid usually deals with. And that made him curious, and that made him want to talk to her, and that made him, and then I think he found her relatable at that point in time. Because like he said, Ashton ain't bringing no girl home. He's never brought anybody home like this besides Avery. Like, this is weird. Like, come have a seat. Let's talk. So, yeah.
I have a question about Jimmy, though, because I was just a little bit confused. Like, when Ashton was saying that he pretty much took care of Jimmy. Like, he paid for the elaborate home he was in and all of that. I just kind of wondered about his relationship with his dad. Was he to be provided for after Robert, died? If this was supposed to be your life mate or whatever, was he to be provided for after you died?
Yeah, but I don't know. I really don't know what Robert thought about him afterwards. But when Jimmy got to the point where he could not stay in that big house alone, and then going into this luxury assistant care facility, those are two different things. The house that's probably paid off is different from an assistant care facility. And I think Ashton understood that Jimmy didn't have that type of money. So I'm not sure what Robert left for Jimmy, but I thought it was nice that Ashton at least, thought that he could stay, though he can stay in a decent facility, even though he thought it was over the top.
I I always was under the impression that Jimmy was money too, So I was
Well, he
surprised.
was
Like
a
he
smart
came for
person.
money.
Not, came from money, but
Yeah, because Jimmy didn't come into that relationship with anything.
Yeah, because he was a club host.
right. I
Hmm.
remember that, but I was just saying over the years and his involvement and everything else, I'd have thought he'd been second. But they said he just didn't have enough.
No, that grandmother, Rosemary, I think she still had influence over her son. And Robert left his legacy to his son. I think he wanted and expected Jimmy to help his son get to it. And he knew his son was resentful and his son was, didn't want to have anything to do with him. He understood that. So I think he tried to do a checks and balance between Rosemary, Jimmy, and Wanda in honestly on a prayer in the wing, that hoping that uh, Ashton was going to walk into his legacy, and thankfully he did. Unfortunately, because of his career coming to an end as soon as he made it to the NFL.
We have a question from Aisha. She's asking, did Robert neglect Ashton for Jimmy?
I think when you receive or achieve the level of success that Robert has, like think about the CEO of Wendy's, that it didn't change over. Like they started the company and they maintained the company. They did not sell the company over. And he was always forward thinking and even lost a partner. He started off with two partners and ended up, losing one because the one partner was short-sighted and he took too many risks. I think any man that way is not the best father and not the best husband. When you are in business the way that you are and you're that competitive and you are that focused, that narrowly focused on achieving that dream of competing with McDonald's, although I don't think BB Burger is as large as McDonald's, but if that is the goal, I think Robert did neglect his son, but I think he loved his son and I think he tried to spend time with him when he could, but I don't think he connected with him enough, because I don't think Ashton really accepted the fact that his father, it's like, you spend time with another man more than you spend time with me. And so I don't think Ashton was even accepting of his father's sexuality, because how much of that did his father explain to him, especially if he was ashamed of it himself or didn't know how to, because the way he was raised, the way his mother didn't accept that. So I think Robert, I don't think he was a bad father. I just think that anytime you have a man that successful, it's another critical part of his life is going to be neglected. I think that's just the way it goes.
And when you think about it, in all reality, having this child wasn't really something he wanted per se. This was
What
him
his
pleasing his
mother wanted.
mom, right? So what energy? And I mean, even we later learned that he always took care. He always cared for Wanda and Ashton, but he wasn't necessarily there.
Committed,
He
committed
gave
to them
everybody
that
else
way,
that
right?
negative energy.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I wonder how good of a partner he was to even Jimmy. I really don't think he gave Jimmy, I don't think he was the partner to Jimmy that Jimmy wanted, but I think Jimmy loved him and that was a sacrifice that he made. But I think
Absolutely.
Robert was best for his legacy, and that's what he ended up doing best.
And Sharon's saying to us, but he also didn't want to be a father or a husband. He was forced into that, but I think he loved him the way
The
that
way
he
he
knew
knew.
how
I
to
agree,
love him.
Sharon. I honestly agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree there that's exactly what he did the best that he could, given the circumstances of what it was.
Yeah.
And so then we rode into book 3. Oh my God. The growth was so evident. Oh, so evident. And let me tell you, L. Lex, I think that was one of my favorite scenes too. When all the girls, they did their girls' night
That
out.
was
Janice.
absolute favorite scene ever. I loved how they were all kicking it, and Lord,
I was like, "Oh, girl, don't know you don't play with Trent,
I
right?"
know she had no
she
idea.
was about to set it off.
And the
They
thing
had to
about
go-
it is Lex is not too far removed from that life, and Jade and Lex are very close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That part.
What does she always say? I'm not just the first lady.
Mm-mm. at all. She still struggles with that. I like Lex for that reason, because I think her heart is being the woman that her husband needs her to be. But I think she's open and real about the fact that that's not going to happen overnight. And then I'm a mother on top of it. I wasn't anticipating being a mother when I became a mother. I wasn't anticipating. I know so many women that they may not be the first lady of a mega church, but they're definitely in marriages with men whom they love, but they didn't want the ministry portion of what their men do. So I am very much familiar with that, that conflict. But when you love someone, and also too, when you believe in God, even to whatever capacity you can, because I don't think Lex and Ezra are on equal level at this point, but she's growing. She's grown in her faith. But I think that she just makes it clear, like, there is pressure on me, but I'm not going to allow you to apply it. Like, I'm not going to do that. I am who I am, and my husband knows it. And I think he does.
Okay.
I think
Absolutely. And I appreciated Elle, like Josh says, Jade and Lexa about that, like, and they certainly were. And I mean, here you have Elle, who is in her growth, right? Trying to bring somebody on and give her the same benefit of a doubt and opportunities that she was afforded to be around women, again, of substance, women that can empower and uplift. And old girl coming in with her judging hat on. I was like, I don't know where sis come from, but
She was miserable.
Yeah.
She was miserable. She was miserable in her own life.
Very much miserable. We're actually going to see Janice again. We're gonna see her in this next. I didn't realize it until the very end of our Reckless Hope. But we're gonna see Janice again, and we'll get more information and backstory on Janice. But Janice didn't know what she walked into. No, Adrian, he did not want a typical first lady. That was what his bargaining agreement was with God. He did not want a traditional first lady. He absolutely didn't.
Oh goodness.
I want to talk about Tori and her dad. Like her dad.
Oh, her father.
He's like, to me, one of the worst people ever.
That was a number of sperm donor.
Yes, you wait all of these years to contact your daughter. You've been knowing where she was. First of all, had that been me, I would have never allowed him to contact me, because you've always known where I was. Always.
Nah.
Why would you wait until I'm a celebrity? I'm this great athlete. I have money. Now you want to contact me? No, send me a postcard. Send it to my PO box.
Yeah.
Terry say I hated him, and Terry, you ain't the only one.
Terry, I'm writing my IR. Terry.
The way he when I was just reading that scene today, where he was on the beach celebrating his grandson's birthday, and
while she was recovering,
right, and he's telling her, this is your sister, and she's telling him Renata is going to be my assistant. Oh, but Nessa is your sister.
No,
okay?
Right.
But at the same time, you leave from off the balcony, leave her up there, and you go downstairs and y'all taking family
with your family.
Without her.
Y'all taking family pictures.
Didn't even bother putting her in any pictures.
And in his mind, he justifies that because he feels that Tori is standoffish, but he doesn't understand that he never gave her a proper, orientation. And the reason why, and a lot of people ask, is like, why does she deal with her dad? Because Tori always wanted family. So of course she's going to. And I think she started picking up, like, this is a bit too much for me. And then when Ashton comes and Ashton is trying to give her own family, I think that was a point of reckoning for her, and her realizing, okay, I don't need to try this with my father. Like, it doesn't feel good. It's never felt good. I'm not going to do this anymore. And another thing I'm starting to get from, I'll leave it to Rita Beta for those references. Another thing I want to address, because people were putting Timothy in the same boat, or putting Renata and what's the sister's name? Trisha. Yeah, putting Trisha in the same boat as Timothy. No, Trisha had a broken woman coming up in the same environment as Tori. She had an addiction. That is her real family. And Trisha loves Tori. Trisha's very protective over Tori. It's just that she can't deliver for her the way Renata can, because she has a monkey on her back. And they're like sisters. We only knew Tori for 2 semesters.
Right.
and that of course it didn't include Trisha and Renata because she was away. But that's her real family. And they've always been family with Tori. So they are definitely not in the same boat as Timothy was.
Absolutely.
It's just that, like, even me, I grew up with cousins, that they were like sisters. Like, we fought and everything. We've done some betraying things to each other, but it didn't lessen our bond. And I think that's where people kind of got confused. No, addiction is a lot to deal with, whether it's your cousin, your mom, your husband, or your wife. Addiction is hard. It's a selfish disease, but that doesn't mean that Trisha, the spirit of that, that soul of that addiction, did not love Tori. She did love Tori. Tori just had to regulate that relationship, understanding that there was that issue there, that monkey on her back.
And
I didn't get that from Trisha either. That she,
right.
I completely understood that, and I remember from book one where you were talking about their relationship or whatever, and even the relationship that she had with Trisha's baby.
Yeah,
I never picked that up. I never picked that up from that she was.
Yeah, I mean, quite a few people. I think even in the general chat, I think they brought it up, and I definitely read it in the reviews. Like, and of course, Trisha was a lot, but let's understand the forces. She was not a foe the way Timothy was, and I believe Timothy was very irresponsible with Tori.
Very.
I believe that like she said, he treated her as if she was his sister, as if they were peers, opposed to, you're the absent father, and like, I'm still waiting for you to show up. So.
And for me, I felt my take from this was that Tori's hurt was really Trisha's hurt as well, especially when you think about Bobby. Like she said, I was there.
Yeah.
I was there when Ain't Dot died,
Yeah.
And they've all been there for each other throughout life. Like you said, they're tight cousins.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I never took that from her. I just felt like there was a lot of hurt that she was dealing with, and she kind of dished out some stuff.
Yeah.
And let me just thank you for bringing Ashton and Tori to NOLA.
Oh yeah, I had you guys in mind with that. Yeah, I said, we've never done New Orleans, so yeah.
I was so excited. I said, I hope they went down to Bourbon Street. That was like, I was like, hey,
they're here.
Yeah. Let me just tell you, if you haven't figured it out, we live in LB universe. Like, literally, we are so there in there.
I really do.
Why did Tori stay with Dion so long?
I do not believe Tori knew that Dion had been cheating the way he did. I don't believe that was something, but guess what? I believe some of the people around her knew, like Elle from book one. I guess the very first chapter when we see Tori, or we meet Tori when she's, present day. I think Elle knew. Elle knew, like, it's rumors that he's been, cheating. But her thing is, her main focus was the family, and she had achieved so much by herself. Her thing was, I guess I can try this marriage thing out. He's cool. He's an athlete too. And I'm about to retire, so I'm going to have a baby. I do not believe Tori understood the severity of his cheating. Like, I don't think she understood that at all. I think she probably thought maybe he was a flirt. I'm not sure, because I don't know where Tori's head was when she met Dion. I did not get that much into it for myself, because some things I know that, but I just don't write. It's just an understanding. I really don't know, what attracted her, but I do know for sure that when we met Tori in book one, that first chapter, present day, Tori did not know what Elle knew. And I think Elle was trying to be respectful and not put it out there like, girl, he's cheating on you. I think that was something that in time she found out. And when she did, again, Ashton had just, come back into her life and just, let's cut that nonsense out. And that was it for her.
I just had to post this here forever.
Listen. You see when I came back and told her, oh, you were my people, Aunt Allegra's people, huh?
Oh goodness.
I felt like he was also after her money.
Who's that, Dion?
I picked that
opportunity.
Up. Came back and said that he needed help paying this girl off. Something he said when they were talking about the prenup and stuff, and I was like, oh, he trying to secure her bag. He trying to get in on that. And then as we went on, I saw that he really did not have his business together.
No, he definitely did not. Even when it comes down to his position, he was not a permanent a player on the Kings. He did not have his business in order. I know Tori was definitely a step up for Dion. Was he out for her money in particular? I'm not quite confident about that. But what's the difference, right? What's the difference between opportunity and her money?
Exactly.
But he definitely understood that with Tori came opportunity, and that is what had happened when even they broke up. They still had these financial obligations they had to meet, these shows that were already in place, and that's what happens when you let the world into your business instead of just moving privately.
Exactly. Making moves in silence. That's right. Let me ask this, because I think I may have asked this in another book discussion, but do you think we'll ever get a story from Spilling That Hot Tea? Because that brief encounter that Raj had with him in Paris, I just felt like there was something there.
Oh, on the blog?
Yeah.
Not just the blog, the people, Kid Paul.
Paul Kid and Meeks.
Yeah.
Like, will they ever get a story?
Yeah. Do you think they'll ever seek you out to be, to tell their story as their clients?
I don't know. I never considered them that way.
I sure hope so, because I know that has got to be some more juice there. They put everybody else's business out. I want theirs.
What's theirs? I don't know. Paul Kid, are you listening, Paul Kid? I think Paul Kid is in here.
So I have a couple of questions not muted related. They are LB universe related, but not muted.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is, what is Tucci doing?
Tashi?
No. Tucci. Supreme old lady. Am I saying it right? Supreme's old lady.
Oh,
that's my girl. I want to know what she doing.
That is her name, huh? Tucci, big woman. That is a good question. I had no idea. Tucci's probably still in Patterson, probably still, still respected there in the first ward of Patterson. Yeah, I forgot all about her. Yeah, I'm sure she's still there, probably still in support of young Lord, but yeah.
When is Candace gonna get a man?
I don't know if I care about Candace that way. I don't know if I'm interested in Candace. That is a good question.
Because she is so thirsty.
Yeah, some of my senior sister readers, I think who did they pair Candace with? Or was it Ruth, Zoe's little sister? They paired with somebody. I don't know, but Candace is something else. I don't know. I don't know.
And two people I feel like deserve each other. Dawn and Terrence.
Dawn and who?
Terrence.
I didn't hear you, lady.
I think Dawn is too sophisticated for Terrence.
Terrence from Connecticut.
Oh, he's the king.
Yeah.
The king.
With his annoying self.
Yeah.
And I think he's too sophisticated for him.
Somebody that's been mentioned in two series that I know of, Jaquana, if I'm saying correct. The real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think she's going to be coming around, or she's just going to be a background character?
She will always be, a supporting cast member. Yeah. Okay. I think we're going to see her. I have a Mason Beach story. Mason Beach, the location actually came before the story. But I think we'll whenever I get to that series, I think or whatever it's going to be, I think we'll hear more about but she will not be a main character. She'll just be supporting. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Candace cannot have Rut. We not Rut is non-negotiable. I share Aisha and my Aisha.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see Dawn dating a Trump supporter. Yeah. Whether he's black or white, I can definitely see that for Dawn, her crazy behind. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
And we also want you, when you're writing your resume, your next resume, just write on that you write strictly for the grown and sexy.
Okay.
Right, let it be known.
All right.
Okay. Dana's asking, can we hear more about Tashi?
I don't know. I never know. I don't plan these things out. It has to be plausible. It's never forced. Like I'm really trying to avoid having Asmir and this Connecticut Kings round because but it's kind of hard knowing his relationship, his inappropriate relationship with the Kings, the front office. But it has to be organic. But as far as Tashi, Tashi would never be my client. I'm just not into Tashi. Tashi has a mentality that I can't move. It's unmovable, unshakable. So no, I love Tashi. I love Tashi. But
I hope she gets to come and visit us again.
See her again, yeah.
So Sean said something, and Sean's comments aren't showing up, but I thought this was a good one. She says,
"Oh, Sean.
The great thing about love stories is that I love that the women learn from the men and the men are willing to teach and experience the women on an authentic level." And I agree with you there.
That's because Sean and I are both old-fashioned. We're very old-fashioned.
Absolutely.
Tyler Thomas. Was that a purposely done switch over with that interview?
Ezra? Love and Cat?
No. Tyler Thomas. When he asked Ashton to take on this interview for him, this job.
Oh, was it? I don't know. When I started, I did not think so. I honestly did not think so. But when I was recording the last book and his comment kind of made sense to me.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, and that's when I was kind of confused myself. But at first I was like, no, I think legitimately he had issues. His wife was like, this is enough. I need you to stop. You're not young anymore. And your health isn't the greatest. Like, you stop. Like, I believe that's true. But he could have thrown it, as you said, you could have legit thrown this to any one of your mentees. Why me? So I don't know.
That was intentional. I think what I got was like this, when Ashton was talking about how Asmir and Tyler was at the wedding and they could see that he was not happy.
Not himself.
He was not happy. And they could see how disconnected. But Tyler remembered that true moment of happiness. Very brief, but he recalled that. So what better way to get them two back together? I thought it was awesome.
I think it's plausible. I was like really thrown off, and I was like, "Ooh, maybe what? Possibly." And I think because he at that time they were more or less like friends, and I think he knew Ashton's story, so it is very well possible that he did that on purpose.
I'm willing to believe that. I'm willing.
Yeah.
Evelyn's asking, what inspired the club sex scene?
For book 3 or 2. For book 2, it was something they had already before.
Wet.
With wet, right? That was something that they had already shared with me before I started writing. There's some scenes and some, because they have to compel their stories to me, right? They have to be good stories, juicy stories. So that was one of the scenes that came to me before I even started recording it. And also they were, Ashton, I think, was really trying to learn Tori and figure her out, like this thing with your sexuality, like, let's see what it is. Like, let me just, because he was getting to know her. And then the guys, the Panthers, they were just having fun with her, like, Tori the tomboy, so that was that scene. And in book 3, like, when we learned that a lot of Tori's culture, she learned, like, that's how influential this kid was for her in just those 2 semesters. Because does Tori go to the strip club? I don't think so. I don't know, but she knew that was something she wanted to experience with Ashton, because that was probably her first time in a strip club back in those BSU days. So yeah.
And I love a lot of camaraderie in that scene when they were in the strip club, when all of the Panthers were in the strip club. That was just a lot of camaraderie and straight HBCU, and I love it.
Oh.
And I love Kiana and Nene. And the way they bonded over that commonality of, like, listen, we're the other children, don't forget about us.
Right. Yeah.
I could actually see their relationship beyond for years and years now. And
I can see that too.
I
Yeah.
certainly hope to see them later on as well, grown
Yeah.
and finished with school. But Maggie, she
Yeah.
gave my girl such a hard
He
time.
did. And I don't know when that's gonna stop. I really don't.
The next time
Oh,
home, she's gonna be back in her arms. The next time that's home.
She's gonna be what?
She's gonna be back in her arms during the next thunderstorm that she can't stand the
yeah.
light in the
Uh,
dark.
Yeah, because I don't that has nothing to do with her mother. You know, it's a good question that I asked while I was recording. Will they ever tell the girls about
mm,
that triangle?
mm. I think it would leave a bad taste in Maggie's mouth, but you know, I truly do believe in spirits connecting beyond just living. So a piece of Avery could have still been left behind. And because, but look how immediate it was. And then Sue, she's very intelligent, right? She knew that Tori had a boyfriend, that
Mm-hmm.
Tori had a fiance, this big football player, right? As she said.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Because
like,
she
now
was
you trying to
a
play
fan.
my daddy.
Yeah, she was
Mm-hmm.
a fan. That's why she was a
Yeah,
fan.
Tori was that big of a celebrity. Like Tori was a
Yeah.
household name. And yeah, who are you coming in here with my dad? I don't. And when their mom died, they were pretty young, so I don't think it was a loyalty thing. Like because she doesn't know the role Tori played, and I'm wondering if they're gonna tell her, if they should tell her, how old should she be? Should they just wait for that time that hopefully Maggie just stops all of the nonsense and bonds with Tori? I'm so curious to see how that's gonna be handled. I'm just glad I ain't the one that gotta fix it.
Let me tell you, you know what my worry is? Her
What's that?
hating sister and mom and grandma telling them the story, the version that they want. That was my worry. So I
No,
hope
I'm saying
that
Maggie, and I'm talking about Morgan. Yeah, yeah,
Ashton and Tori does take a moment in this journey, if they find it to be of any level of importance, because that sister Cheryl and Mama, Mama Cooper,
it's gonna be an issue. So yeah, they may tell the girls. Yeah.
because they are such haters. And
Mm.
girl, the energy she came at that party with, I was like, but that was a moment that Tori had me like, yeah, get her, let her
Mhm.
know. She's like, I can show you what these hands do. I was like, yeah.
I
Tori was
tell
just
you,
like, today is not a good day for me. Don't go there.
I was itching all 3 books for her to just pop somebody, just one time, just one quick jab, and
I think fighters are taught restraint. I don't think they are all hot headed, and I think with Tori, I know BSU, she was intimidated. I think they would have really had to push her. And those kids were not physical. They couldn't fight. I think Tori understood that too. They probably would have really had to, go there for her to pop off. But I think fighters, that's what they're taught. They're taught discipline. So, they weren't that type of threat to her. But I was going to make a point about that family. I was going to say, for Avery's mom and her sister, although we know Avery was a terror, they don't know that side of her. So I think it's expected that they're going to defend her memory, and they're going to, because they knew that she hated this girl. They knew this girl came in and totally, ruined her future with Ashton, the original plan. So I think not that it's right, but I think that they're just loyal to her. Avery painted that picture for them, and they're going to believe Avery.
Of course.
So
It's just my concern is what they share with the girl. Well, with Maggie more than Mari,
no,
but because Mari is
seriously.
so sweet. She just stole my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Mari was a doll. What it was Mari that found her in the bed, huh?
yeah, yeah, because she was
Like,
all smiles and all.
all her privates.
Why am I confusing them now? Like, I don't know the difference between Mari and Maggie, but yeah. Yep, and Tori was naked. Uh-huh.
It really, really surprised me, but it excited me at the same time, knowing that Ashton named his twin girls from
Yeah.
Avery.
Yep.
I was like,
Mhm.
oh.
That's something that I knew before I started writing them. Yeah.
Maisha, that's that bold audacity comment right there. That's the quote that
Mhm.
would fit definitely right there.
That was the slap in Avery's face.
Oh yes.
In my opinion,
Go
I don't think that was, maybe that wasn't, Ashton's thinking, but for me, the viewing their overall story, that was the slap that Tori never gave Avery.
Absolutely. And Avery, I mean, Tori kept saying her karma, but Avery in her, wildest dreams could never match get the kind of love that he gave
Tori,
Tori.
they're
And
completely different
I think
beings. Yeah.
more than anything, I find when men really, really, when you let a man be a man, it was almost as if he had nothing to give Avery but, money, sex, whatever. But Tori, it was so much more he could give her and do for her.
That's a good point. But let me tell you this. If Avery never messed up, I don't think Ashton would have given Tori the time of the day. Look what they kept saying. Like Tori, I mean, Ashton was, even though he was the man on campus and this was a big deal, his college career and everything, he wasn't the type to cheat on her. And I feel like when you have that, when you're not satisfied and you have that, I don't want to say loneliness, because I'm not sure if he was lonely, but you find yourself open to having your attention caught by some things. I think that if he and Avery were solid, I don't think he would have. I think he could have missed. That's happened in my personal life. I won't go there. I think the timing has to be right for you to see that other person. If you're just a solid person, I'm in this, for the long haul. I'm a loyal person. I'm not the type that has a wandering eye or a wandering heart. You can easily miss something that's better for you. So timing is everything.
He's definitely very solid. He was 110% when it came to being a genuine man.
Yeah, think about it. He never brought any women around his daughters, and he definitely had a life.
Absolutely,
that's just not something he exposed to his daughter. So yeah, and that's another thing. When I go back to that comment I made earlier about writing like just evil and nefarious things, like the heroes. That's one thing I can't do. I can't do, if you're in, you're in. Like, I can't do messiness. Like, don't come to me and like, oh, I like her, but what about these other ones? I don't do none of that stuff. If you're in, you're in. If you're not in, I'm not the therapist for you. So with Ashton, morally, he did have some things in order. And yeah, I appreciate him. But someone said Mike Tyson. Yeah, Mike Tyson got a whole lot of issues though.
That was Evelyn.
I love me some Mike, but Mike got some issues. But now he's more calm. I guarantee you, he has more discipline now than he did in his 20s and 30s. But he's more calm.
I hope so. I would definitely hope so.
I hope so.
I think he does. I watch he likes to smoke his weed and be calm. Let his weed calm him down. I think he's in a better place emotionally.
We are getting this in paperback. Is that going to be really soon, or because I saw your release?
That is going to be soon. I think they're done. I need to order another round of proofs because I've been updating them. But I have an announcement about just give me some time about the paperbacks and how we're going to disseminate them.
Okay.
So just give me some time. Yeah. And
so I know a lot of our readers wanted to be able to get this copy from you for the purpose of your autograph, of course, and with COVID and not having any shows.
Right. Exactly.
Can we expect that this go round?
Yes, that's why I'm saying just give me a moment. We're trying to, my publishing partner actually a couple weeks ago, not even brought something to my attention in terms of how we can disseminate them. So I'm definitely working on that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
One more question outside of Muted. The CK4 that you're working on, is that going to be a standalone?
Yes. Oh gosh, they all are supposed to be standalones. I'm just long-winded and I messed up.
I knew that Trent had 2 books. That's
when I messed up, and I shouldn't have done that. That was not what it was supposed to be. So I'm gonna do better. Yeah, and let me tell you, this is real. I was talking to Bailey West about this a few weeks ago, and I'm always talking to CCJ about it. Like, dog, I gotta keep it simple. Like, I can't explore. Like, I can't I got to keep it like these scenes. They have to be short and to the point. And yeah, so wish me luck on it because it should just be one book. Yeah.
I have a question for you.
When she was telling me about the interview, I didn't get to listen to the whole interview. What was the interview on, Ayana?
I was just about to say that.
She said, did you hear the whole interview? I said, no, I had to cut it off. Something came up. She said, well, yeah, Love said that Brielle's been speaking to her and she will write a novella.
Which is unusual for me because I've said publicly too, I'm not interested in Brielle. But can I tell you, this past fall, like I've never experienced that before. I'm not interested in taking her on as definitely not a series or even a full length, but I'm hoping I can once I'm done with this, if they continue to speak, I'm gonna try my hand at it. And I definitely have seen Brielle in a light that makes sense to me that I've never seen of her before. Because that girl is wild. I would never be
I saw that in Tori's book. I was like, okay, sis.
She is a wild girl.
I said she's saying a novella. That's not gonna happen. We getting a full length novel. Why?
I hope not. I really hope not. Because I don't even want to say I like Brielle. I did. She said she showed me some compelling things, and I'm just like, I think the LB universe would respect it. I think they would respect it. So if she continues to talk when I'm done with this, I'm gonna give her a chance.
Just tell her to grow up. When she gets in this, just tell her grow up. That's all.
No, she has to because I can't. Her antics, that's just a bit much for me. It's just a bit much, but yeah.
Now, thinking specifically about Connecticut Kings, right? Your next project, which we kind of figured out, right? You partner with. This is a collaboration with CCJ. So can we expect one book from you, one book from her? How much more of the Connecticut Kings can we expect this year?
Until we're over it. I think at one point CCJ was like, I don't know. And then like 2 years ago, so she's been waiting on me. It's supposed to be a summer special. We're supposed to do every summer. And then that darn Sadiq, that thing just took me out of my my comfort zone. And so for 2 summers, because 18 was the last time we put it out, so 19 and 20, and then this past year I was just caught up in Muted Love because after Sadiq, I was trying to get the audiobook out. That took time away from my schedule. So that's why it's unusual for me to write Connecticut Kings at the top of the year. That's really a summer pursuit. But that is, anytime there's one author putting out a Connecticut Kings project, there's the other. So I'm taking it on now because I'm a slower writer than CCJ. So you'll probably see a couple things from CCJ before you're going to see her CK. But I've already started. So that is what I'm working on. Yes, she'll have one and I'll have one.
And I listened to CCJ's interview as well, and she was saying that she couldn't recall if it was you or her that brought the whole concept of football, a sport into it. But man,
I think that was probably CCJ. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah.
You guys.
I'm sorry. No.
You're not?
You know what? I am now only, and I don't even know if I want to call myself a fan, but I force myself to watch football, to talk football, to follow football figures. And I was telling CCJ, one of my trainers at the gym, because I'm always in there running my mouth, and he told me about a podcast on YouTube, I Am Athlete. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
With Brandon Marshall, Chad.
Oh yeah, I did. I listened to a couple of these things. I didn't know the name of it, but I've listened.
I've been watching them for the past couple months, and I've been ODing on them since I was almost done with book 3, and I've been just to get that football talk. But I'm a bootleg football fan, but I make it my business. I legit hold conversations. I ask a whole bunch of questions. I got to get back into watching the game, but because it's a part of my brand, I've learned more about football than I ever wanted to know.
I was gonna say that. I was like, Love must really love sports, or she has.
No, I don't. No, ma'am. I love boxing. If anything, I love boxing. I haven't even watched that in years. But you know who is my savior and who makes me look like I do know something about football?
Who?
Tina V. Young.
Oh.
Tina has written like the plays. Like I'll tell her like what I need, and then
Wow.
she'll send it to me, and then I'm writing a whole scene around it, and I'll send it back to her like, is it okay? Because I'm like really breaking up what she said. She was like, oh, I like the way you did that, especially for I think there was a play in My Muted Love. That was Tina. That was Tina. And then I'll engage someone else. Before I started writing full time and came home and created an office and all that stuff, I had a colleague. All of the titles I've used so far came from a list of football terms that my colleague and her daughter, whose name is Tina, as well, they wrote for me. And I even to this very day consult them if I have any football questions and anything like that. So I have quite a few people like I'm like trying to make sense out of like making it like layman's. And when I can't go layman, I go to Tina Young and I'm like, T, this is what I need. And then I'll take what she needs and then I'll just make it a scene. So
Let
yeah.
me tell you, your team is amazing, and I definitely want to shout them out because our
Tina is
book
a beast.
discussion.
She is a beast. That's my secret potion right there. She's a beast.
Yes, Jamaica, Rita, and the way they engage us, you would never know, that people are so new to love because we're so welcome. And
Oh.
I actually listen. Once I got into it, I got hooked on Ezra, but I mean, hey. And can you tell Evelyn while we're live that my name did not expire?
Oh, EVE. EVE. You guys have me cracking up. Cracking up. You hear me?
Did you
Cracking
hear
up.
that, Evelyn?
I was like, we could have met each other this past when Josh was doing in New Orleans. I hope Josh does go back in New Orleans. My dad lives in New Orleans, and I was telling him like, look, me and my author bestie, we're sending you our books. I'll let you know when we ship them. Or like we were really planning on being down there. I want to eat the food. I've never been to New Orleans, unfortunately.
What?
Yeah. And I'm embarrassed to say that. My dad has been here since Katrina. I'm embarrassed to say that, but I cannot wait. I actually was bringing even more, not even Team Love members, but I was gonna have to pay Josh some, the fee for tickets because it's New Orleans. So anybody like, what are you doing this year, Love? And that's the one they wanted to attend. I want to come to New Orleans, and I'm like, okay.
Oh my
So that
God.
means I gotta pay Josh some money to let these people in. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I certainly hope Indie Love returns, but be assured, if God says the same, Bourbon Street Bookers will definitely be doing an event here, and it would definitely just, oh my God, be such an honor to have you there. And we're all things, like I said, all things love, but we want to. The whole purpose of Bourbon Street is to represent New Orleans and for people to know, hey, New Orleans girls to read, and we love it. We have some amazing authors here as well.
Nice.
Because of Bourbon Street Bookers, we've connected with a lot of authors here.
Nice.
So yeah, and some of well, we're gonna call us Louisiana girls because then we have some in Baton Rouge that are also amazing as well, that are big fans.
Listen, don't say all Louisiana because New Orleans is not Louisiana. Baton
True.
Rouge is not Louisiana. Okay? We are definitely blue. We are blue cities. Okay. So
we kind of state in a state.
Oh, well, I can't wait to meet you guys. I really can't.
Oh, we're looking forward to it. Because listen, when I tell you my heart was broken with this being canceled, because I'm like, what happened to my blob picture? I was looking forward to
I know. And when the cancellations happened, I took it on the chin. I took it like a G. Like, okay, God, it's your will. But I'm gonna be honest with you, as the year started growing, and even when you bring up those pictures, I'm like, dog, I should have had new pictures. I should have had renewed pictures. And I just really, I miss them. I miss the women who come to everyone. I miss meeting you guys who are so loud I can't ignore you, I really need to touch you, it took me a while, but it finally hit me, and I'm just like, dog, I missed out. My sister readers. I'm a tough girl. That's what CJ called me. You're a tough girl, Love. And I think I used to be. I'm not as tough as I used to be, but I really do. I regret that we couldn't have had the signings this year because I do get a lot out of it. I get refueled at those signings. So
Josh
So
said
Josh is saying
2022
possibly
possibly.
2022. So Josh, is that going to be your next location? Because I feel like we were talking and you were saying the next one would be an ATL. Because I'm telling you, like everybody was like New Orleans, here we come. Like we were like really feeling that location. I know
And I'm
Maisha was so good. Maisha said, "Send me all of them," and it's funny because we had books because we had ordered our books for Girl, Have You Met? We booked our tickets, our hotel, and everything. It took forever to get, well, we didn't get reimbursed for our airfare. We got a credit, if you will, but it took us forever. But Maisha hit me up just at the right time. And Maisha said, "What you got?" And I said, "Oh, well, I got the, all right, give me all of them." So I really appreciate you, Maisha. I truly, truly do.
That sounds about right. That Maisha is a huge supporter, and
Huge.
we
Oh my
actually
God.
love her.
Yeah.
It's amazing how this group,
Okay, Josh.
we have a good bit of fans here, but we all this common love we have over your books. Oh my goodness.
No, I really appreciate it, and I do feel it. I honestly do. I don't want you guys to think that I don't. I talk about you guys like in my real world. Like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna engage them? Like they're here and I appreciate it. They're loud, and I have to figure out how can I, make most of those loud voices. So we're still working on it, but yeah.
Well, it was a huge treat. Listen, I know you have a couple of friends named Ayana, so we got to work on my name.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
There you go.
now y'all work. Now y'all work for her.
And that's exactly what she says. Yeah, yeah. Well, we have tied up a lot of your time. Josh is saying yes, 2022 is possibly New Orleans.
Okay.
Y'all get me excited over here.
We got cut
So,
up.
Maisha is saying she needs 3 autographs. But we're gonna wrap up. Before Love leaves, are there any questions you guys want to get in really quick? Because we don't want to tie her up for the rest of the night. And Love, we need you to hold on after the end of this for a little, just a couple of minutes longer.
Okay.
But are there any questions? Let's see here.
We just want to say that we appreciate you joining us and entertaining us tonight.
Yes.
No problem at all.
We are truly excited. And I've been on quite a few times this year, and Josh has brought me over with Indie Love Readers, and we've cracked up. But tonight I was like, I had butterflies. I was just so anxious and so excited.
He texted me and was
Thank
like,
you.
"Girl, I'm so nervous." I said, "You need to go take a little sip of something real quick."
Aww.
And I was blessed with my first love shirt for my birthday this year. This birthday was everything. It
Aww.
truly was.
I'm happy
Dana
to hear
said, "How's Izzy doing?"
And listen, I'll tell you too, I really another thing that I loved about book 3, the cameos. That was so
The
I
what?
love
The what, Allegra?
from the other characters from the series. I loved
Oh, the
every
cameos. The cameos. You went out when, well, not you went out when you said that. Yeah, the cameos. Yeah, I got complaints on that too. Yeah, but yeah, I think so. I don't do those as fillers.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I explained it during the general the general chat how when you're talking about a universe and then I write about like most of the people I write about are wealthy people, right? And if
Exactly.
Asmir is supposed to be this connected, powerful man, there's not many people in the LB universe that Asmir doesn't know. Like there may be people that he doesn't interface with or not quote unquote friends with, but he knows who they are. And then Ezra is the friggin' pastor of a mega church, the largest mega church, second largest or something like that on the East Coast. Like, so the world is really, really small. So it would be really implausible for some of them not to know each other. So at a friggin' Tori McNabb fight, the biggest female boxer that has ever lived, why would these people not be there? That doesn't
Why? Exactly. Why wouldn't they be there?
yeah.
And we know if we know nothing else, we know that, like you said, Asmir's hands is in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, I'm so glad you brought this up because I wanted to share with
Right.
Love.
So that's another thing with the babies. I had no intention of having all these babies. I knew Tori was going to have her baby. I knew that before I started writing this project. Jade, I did not know. was expecting and had lost the baby. L, I had a feeling that was going to come around, like L being pregnant, and L and Jackson, like, at the end of their book, they did not get married, and they were not ready yet, was not thinking about kids at that time. Who else was pregnant? Oh God, Isaac and Kenny. Lord Jesus. Everybody has been wondering about her darn ovaries. I'm like, why do y'all want that child to have a baby? So she needs to establish herself. He is already the man in his industry. She needs to find her own life. Like, oh my God. And I'm just like, I know Kennedy wanted kids, but I've never been so harassed over a set of clients of mine as I have Kennedy and Isaac.
It was really a treat. My introduction to you. That's how I learned about
was Wayward Love.
Yes, my cousin's best friend posted something on Facebook one day, and she said, "Anybody?" I've always been a reader. I've always been a reader since I was a teenager. I've been reading. And my cousin's best friend posted the book, the Wayward Love book, the first one. And she said, anybody want to read this with me? And then we can discuss it later. So I looked at the synopsis and I said, yeah, I'm down. So she was like, okay, we're going to start today. So like, I'm a fast reader too.
Oh, you're one of those. I wish.
Yeah, I'm a fast reader. Like, the next day I was finished the book. And I hit her up. I was like, girl, I read that book. I said, and I am pissed off. Because I was mad, they just split up.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off. I said, I'm about to order the other one. She was like, damn, you finished already? And just let me say, we never had a conversation about that, because once I read that first series, I was like, this is the best author I've ever read from. Let me look up her catalog. And then when I looked up the catalog, I was like, okay, well, let me start from the beginning. This is going to keep me entertained for like 2 weeks. And when I tell you, I just read everything. The first series that I actually had to wait for books for was Sadiq.
Okay. So once you were done with Wayward Love, you went up to Lip, and then you came down.
I went up to
Love's Improbable Possibility.
That's what I
read. Right, because I tell people that if you're going to invest, and if you like the writing and you want to invest the time, just start at the top, because it'll be more friendly, like reader friendly, if you start at the top. So that was smart of you. Yeah,
that's exactly what we tell our readers.
I told my sister that the other day. She's finally coming around to leaving the Harlequin romance alone.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, well, what about I see y'all talking about this book Monday. Is Love Belvin good? I said, Love Belvin is the best.
That's the best. We're a little biased,
right? And I'm an ebook reader, but I ordered all of the paperbacks. I just have to pick Connecticut Kings and get the Muted Hopelessness.
Okay.
So she was like, well, you have the book, yeah, and you're not touching it.
Oh, you sound like Josh. That's Josh. I feel like somebody asked Josh for a paperback. She said, absolutely not.
Oh no, I don't loan my books out, because
I don't loan my books out. So let me just tell you, me and my craziness, we're planning a baby shower.
I think I heard something about that. For who though?
All of them.
This girl is a nut. I'm telling you, she's a nut.
I'm so done.
So we're gonna need to be able to baby reveal up in here.
Well, let me know. How about that? Let me know, and we will get that information to the librarians, and it will be recorded.
That's what we're talking about.
No, I'm serious. I don't have any plans for them. Who else? So it's Kennedy. Obviously, we know what Tori had. Tori's going to be pregnant again at the end of this year. Who else was pregnant?
Well, we know who wasn't. Sunset had her baby.
Who's this?
Sunset.
Right. They delivered. Elle should deliver by now. Who else was pregnant?
So we'll have Elle, we have Tori, we have was Jade pregnant again? No,
she lost the baby.
No, she lost the first book. And I think I know she wasn't pregnant, but I know she wanted more kids.
No, was it Zoe or Kennedy?
Parker wanted more kids.
Oh, Parker was pregnant. That's who we're missing.
Yes.
Yes. So it's Parker
Oh,
and
right.
Kennedy. Yes. Right. So yeah. So just let me know what you guys reveal, and I will get it over to the librarians, and it will. We actually have a running document for the LB universe, like facts, like a fact sheet that Tina keeps reminding me of, because I'm like, T, we got to put this in a book, and we want to make it available free. We want to download it from my website, and it's going to constantly be updated so that you can download it, just in case there's a fact that you don't remember, you know, about, like, really, like she had a miscarriage. When did Jade have the miscarriage? So Tina has taken that on for the past few years, and that honestly helps me keep these facts straight. And so we're going to turn that into a booklet, and I just haven't had the turn. She keeps hitting over, like, okay, when are we going to do this? But yeah, you give me that information, we'll get it on the fact sheet, and it will be so.
Maisha said she had a question.
She dropped it. She says, why was Trisha forgiven so easily? Trisha. And I think Love touched on that with regards to the relationship, you know, being cousins. It was easy to understand that Trisha was troubled.
If you've ever dealt with anyone with an addiction in your family, anyone you love, you can understand why Trisha is not being kicked to the curb. It is my advice from having that experience that she needs to develop boundaries with Trisha, but I don't think that's going to be an issue for her, because now she has a partner, she has kids, she has stepkids. So I think that Trisha is going to have to, she's not the priority anymore.
Everybody gets
Johnson said, why am I entertaining Ayana? If that's what she's going to do, Josh, I mean, hey,
I'm going in the encyclopedia.
Right, she's going to contribute.
Oh my goodness.
Who said they were asleep? Who said they were asleep, but they really love the series?
Who is that?
Kima.
Kima B?
Kima misses everything.
Who's Kima? Who? Kima B?
Author Kima.
Hey, Kima, thank you for coming. Who said they're bringing the meatballs?
Me.
I'm done.
I'm bringing the meatballs for the show.
Mimi is bringing sherbet and some punch.
Mimi is here.
Mimi stays in here.
My crazy Mimi. Is that Mimi though? Josh, is that Mimi?
Yeah. That's her.
Goodness.
That's her.
Hey, me.
Yeah. So we thank you again. We had a wonderful time. I hope everybody else did. I hope you enjoyed yourself, Love.
I did. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. We are so grateful that you joined us. Yes. So do you have anything else you wanted to share before we?
I don't, other than I will be making an announcement about these paperbacks soon. We are working on something special for you guys. And I think you're going to enjoy it. I'm confident you'll enjoy it. And that's about it. That is about it. And I've already started on CK4. I'm praying for a May release date. Don't hold me to it. I won't fully announce that. But yeah.
Did you say May?
We're saying I'm hoping for May. My publishing partner said May. He never gets what he wants, but yeah.
Interesting.
We're looking forward to it.
We are certainly looking forward to it. So we'll be on standby. And for our readers next month, and just to let you know, Love, next month we're having our V-Day side chick.
Oh.
Seriously, February 15th, Maisha, Evelyn, Allegra, and I are going to be having an all Trent and Zoe conversation.
No, Stanton, not Trent.
Oh, Stanton, Zoe. Oh gosh.
Did I say Trent? I meant to say Stanton, yeah.
Lord, I'll take.
Maybe I prefer Trent over Stanton.
So yeah, that will probably be an all-out battle, and I'm looking forward to that. I hope they know that I'm ready. I have my notes.
I'm sure I'll hear about it after.
You will definitely hear about it. These literary streets cuts up.
I see.
Okay, we're not going to hold you any longer.
But we're going to come off of here and we'll chat with you in a second. But thank you all for joining us. We have had a blast and we thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you again, Love.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, guys.